From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is an OSU update with Kyle Fredrickson. I'm Jenny Carlson. Kyle, a lot of Cowboy fans will most remember that Cactus Bowl for James Castleman's offensive production. Who'd have thought the defensive lineman having an impact on offense? But now here we are about 6 weeks after. What's James up to as the NFL Combine gets started this week?
Right. It didn't take long for Castleman to kind of, put the amazing experience of the Cactus Bowl behind him and focus on his future goal, which is getting drafted, into the NFL, come draft time coming up here. So pretty much as soon as the Cactus Bowl was over, Castleman went down to Dallas to train with a former NFL linebacker, David Vabora, at the gym that he has in the Dallas area, really just to get him ready for the NFL draft. Castleman isn't the guy who got invited to the Combine, which makes his chances of getting drafted all that much more slim, but we've seen the athleticism, we've seen the things he brings to the table. Now in these weeks leading up to OSU's Pro Day, which is in about a month, he's going to be working on his 40 time. He's going to be working on all the technical things that he needs to do to impress scouts, because as the likelihood of him getting drafted might be a little low, all he has to do is impress one team, because that would all it takes for him to get drafted and to get into a camp.
Well, let's talk about those chances because, there are, especially linemen at the free agent pickup level that tend to, maybe find a spot. Even if he's not drafted, does he still have a good chance to potentially make it in the NFL?
Well, definitely. And it comes back to the athleticism. We saw what he can do with the ball in his hands. Now, obviously, that's probably not what he's going to be doing at the next level, but just seeing how he can run, his smarts, kind of the instincts that he brings to the position, he figures to fit in somewhere. And when you look online at some of the different draft evaluations, one site has him as a 6th to 7th round grade. NFL.com, I think, had him as a 5.25 grade, which means that he could be an NFL backup or a special teams guy. So there are some people who are high on him at this point, but he just didn't have kind of those gaudy numbers that some of these other defensive tackles had that would put him in a better position to land with an NFL team.
Lastly, James Castleman on Twitter, as a lot of players are, and he was sort of I guess maybe surprised last week in Dallas. He crossed paths with Boone Pickens, the OSU mega booster, and on Twitter we saw the results of that. They had both had some fun, didn't they?
Yeah, and like you said, it's been 6 weeks since the big man caught the pass and rumbled down the field and really kind of earned his spot in OSU lore. Boone Pickens obviously noticed a lot of the media coverage afterwards. One of the quotes that Castleman had after that game was, "I would have kept running, but the check engine light came on," which is a pretty solid one from him. Boone thought that was the quote of the year, so he went ahead and got a certificate made, a nice little plaque for him, put a photo of the two together on Twitter. So certainly a lot of love left for Castleman after that game, even this far out. And heck, maybe a team will see what he did in that game and say, hey, goal line, send in Castleman, and let's see what he can do.
Hey, he ran, and even though the chips were flying off his helmet, he kept going. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.